have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Darlene Lindsay. Here. Councilmember Mandy DeWitt. Here. Councilmember Kayla Callahan. Here. Councilmember Rick Roberts. Here.
All right, thank you. All right, let's get started, and may we have approval of minutes for January 10th of 2024, please?
I move to approve the minutes dated January 10th, 2024.
My second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, motion carried. Okay, may we have approval of executive session minutes for January 10th of 2024?
I move to approve the executive session minutes from January 10th, 2024.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you, motion carried. Okay, may we have approval of the treasurer's report for December of 2023?
I move to approve the treasurer's report dated December 2023.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion is carried. Okay, now may we have approval of the budget report for December of 2023?
I move to approve the budget report dated December 2023.
I second.
Any discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, motion carried. All right, well, we're done with that. Let's move on to communications. There's a notice of state fiscal year for 2025, state revolving fund project solicitation and application process, and it is here on the desk if anybody is interested in looking at that. Okay, let's move on to petitions, memorial, and complaints, and we don't have any this evening. Move on to officers' report. Do we have a maintenance report this evening?
See, that's there. We have gone down and we had a leak at the hot water, well, thank you. We had a leak at the hot water well, and I went with a couple of gentlemen from Contango today, and we do have a couple of, they did get that replaced with a brass one, but they do have a stainless steel on order that'll be here in a couple of weeks, and then we will change it over to that. And we'll go exercise a couple of the valves down there because they weren't working, and we had to turn off the whole hot water well to get that switched out today, so we'll see what's going on with that. I don't think anything else. Yes, the new water station is fixed. It was a plastic that came with it. It was a plastic valve in there, and ironically enough, I thought we were buying a brass one, but we got the same exact plastic one again. They're just calling it brass because the ends have brass on it. So we got the same one again. We're just gonna make sure the heat's doing fine up there. So that is all fixed and everything's going well on that. Okay. I think that's it.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, do we have a clerk's report this evening?
The only thing I have to say is that I gave council some copies of advertisements from other municipalities for the clerk treasurer position. My suggestion is when we start hiring, the advertisement says deputy clerk until they transition into the clerk treasurer position.
Okay, thank you. The mayor's report, I have no report this evening. Do we have a attorney's report?
No.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a police report?
It's pretty short, unless you guys have questions for me. I think it's on the agenda for unfinished business for interview process.
Do we have a council member report? Thank you. Let's move on to unfinished business. Community improvement. Do you have anything on that this evening? Okay, do we have anything police chief and clerk positions? Bert had mentioned a little bit there.
I think you guys were gonna target some interview dates, maybe? On the interview questions for that, I apologize, there's two stages of interviews. The first is just the generic employment interview. The second is a little bit more detailed, a little bit more specific questions to be asked, and that's what I was speaking of last meeting about some specially tailored questions and things, so not necessarily for the first round is just the typical, you've applied, we're gonna interview you and see how things go from there, so that's up to you guys as far as questions and information from there.
I was looking at my calendar, except for February 1st, I am open for any time within like the first 2 weeks of February. Recommend we do them in the evenings since we all have jobs. Maybe have a date for interviews and maybe a secondary date in case we offer it to the individuals and they can't make it on that day. So anybody can't make it?
I won't be here from the 7th of February to the 13th.
I won't be available that any week of the 1st of February. The rest of the month I won't be available.
I'm sorry, Michaela, I didn't hear you.
Just the first week of February I'll be available. I have stuff going on the rest of the week.
So like 5th, 6th, and 7th, or 5th, 6th, right? You said the 7th through the 13th, you're not.
Yes.
So 5th, 6th.
Do it 5th and 6th? Set up the initial for the 5th, and if somebody can't make it, off for the 6th, and adjust it from there.
Let's go for the 5th. The 6th I'll be leaving out that afternoon.
Oh, okay.
I apologize, I should have said that.
I'm open any time, I just recommend it be, well, let's see, anytime after 6:30? I don't know what time everybody's available. When are you available, Darla?
7, but it's too late, so I will have someone else do my job over there. I usually don't. 6:45 is whenever I finish my job over there, but I will find someone else to cover for me that day, so we can set him early, or after, 5:30?
I'm usually home at 4:30.
At 5:30?
Yeah.
Does 5:30 work?
Anytime after 5:30, starting then?
Yes,
5:30?
yes.
And right now, we still just have 2 candidates, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, 5:30 on the 5th?
Yeah, and are we thinking a half hour, or an hour between?
Usually
I'd say
20 minutes.
Usually 30 minutes tops for an interview, just the initial, and really the second one, we get more in depth, but
Like do a 45 minutes, so we have a 15-minute discussion before we go into the second one.
that'll work.
Can we make it like, are you pushing 5:30 or 5:30 works? Okay. Good, so 5:30 and 6:15.
Anything else, Jamie?
Not necessarily, I think. I'll get the information to you guys on the rest of the process again. I know I sent it out a while back, but I'll make sure you get that again before that, so you can kind of see how the process goes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's move on to old tractor.
That old tractor is here, and I got a lot of other stuff going on, and so does Rod, so it has not been made a priority. He does want to pull it into the garage soon and look at it. There's just been a lot of other stuff going on, so.
They couldn't have it tore apart too, so you don't even know if all the parts are there either.
Yeah, well, I had gone in, they didn't give us all the parts back, so Rod gave me a list, I called them, went in and got it, what we were missing. So we did get a couple of those things back, but yeah. Probably not all that
If
was.
you don't get them back, you gotta buy them again, right?
Right, right. So it just, there's been a lot other stuff going on. I know he wants to get to it, but that's his intentions, but we do have a lot other stuff going on, so it hasn't been a priority.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the old water station, do you have anything on it?
I have talked to Danny today, cause he's a little bit stubborn and he wants us to cap it. So I gave him a week to think about it, and then I sent him another message today, well, yesterday and today, and he's in Vegas buying some parts and he's gonna get back with me tomorrow. I told him we got some good weeks coming up and we need that valve done as soon as possible, so just waiting on Danny.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Chickens.
We are still waiting on some, the minor changes to be approved or accepted by the attorney. We didn't expect this meeting, so it wasn't a priority, but I think we'll have everything ready for the third reading by the next meeting. I know people want to get that done. Luckily, Tractor Supply isn't selling chicks yet. I think we're good till the end of December, but we should have a third reading by next meeting, so people have time to figure out what they want to do.
Okay,
I myself would like to see the changes that the lawyer
Yeah,
did.
me too.
I don't feel comfortable passing the third and final ordinance until I see what changes are inside.
Okay, I think Bert has them. Jamie has them.
They're on Bert's desk, we just need to get those changes made, put in, and then we'll get it out to you guys.
But, yeah, everybody needs to take a look at them.
So I make a motion that we table the third and final reading of ordinance 2023-05 at this time.
So distasteful.
is there any other discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
It's too bad.
Okay, motion is carried, thank you. Okay, let's move on to new business. May we have approval for the vouchers presented for payment?
I move to accept the vouchers presented for payment. Second?
Any discussion on these? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion is carried, thank you. Okay, resolution 2024-1, a resolution amending the cost of the town of Midwest, Natrona County, Wyoming, water, sewer, and sanitation rates. The council has received paperwork from Joint Powers showing sanitation income versus costs.
Due to Joint Powers making the change to $4.25 across the board, the resolution reflects that, only in the sanitation area.
accept resolution 2024-1, a resolution amending the cost of the County of West Natrona County, Wyoming water, sewer, and sanitation rates at this time.
I second.
Is there any discussion on this? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, motion is carried. Thank you. Okay, I'd like to, open the floor now for any public comment at this time. Michael?
Couple of things, at the Tuesday Travel and Tourism Board meeting, there was a discussion of what I finally understood to be a MRG, a letter of support possibly from all the towns in Natrona County, and possibly financial support for a minimum revenue guarantee for the Delta flights. Apparently Delta is increasing their planes to 72 passengers, it's gonna be multi-class. I don't mean to step on the mayor's toes, he's supposed to be getting a call from someone in the county, one of the county commissioners. I don't know if they'll be asking Midwest to provide some money, $50, $100, whatever, I don't know, but they're asking basically the Casper and Mills and Natrona County. And there was much discussion about the importance of having that Delta flight, that there's 30% of the neighbors drilling rig hands flying from the West Coast on that flight. Many of the events that happen at not many, all the events that happen at the event center that are multi-state athletic events rely on people being able to fly into Casper. So at some point I'm sure you will get a call, and it would behoove the council to do a resolution and support that, so that we can keep that airline, flying and keeping people, vacationers, people in energy and in tourism, keep them coming and bringing money to the county. So that's just something I wanted to let you know is gonna be happening. I would not be doing my job if I didn't bring that to you. It was a lot of discussion, it's very complicated, and basically what they said was, and I'm not sure if it's, what's the name of the company that flies out of Casper, Southwest. It's some, small company that connects with both United and Delta, but they have, every single city they fly into has one of these minimum revenue guarantees except their home city. And they've got people waiting to pick up the flight if we lost it in Casper, which would be terrible for the state, basically, because Casper's the best place. And so that's that. You probably will hear somebody, I don't mean to step on your toes, Mr. Mayor, but just so you have that as a heads up, it'd be great to see Midwest supporting tourism in the area. And the other thing was, I looked at, I was at the Joint Powers meeting, and the 4.25 is a nice figure. It was mentioned that there's an increase of 10%, and that's roughly 12% for the regular bins. And I was told that the seniors is always $3 below, so we don't have to worry about that. But a 12% increase for the large bins, that's a $58 increase. That'd be more like, I had it somewhere, $6.96. So perhaps in the future, that could be changed, so that would reflect the cushion that we're gonna need with that 10% increase. And then Leroy Erickson at the garbage company said there'd probably be a 3.3 to 3.5 increase in July when they negotiate new salaries and things like that. Just bring that to the attention. But it's a question of equity. If we're going to fund this, everybody should be getting the 10% plus the cushion, which would be 12%. And that way we're covered, because garbage is important. And there were some comments online that were deleted, but one person accurately pointed out, if we don't have garbage, I remember when we were doing a Halliburton job and the location across the gully there behind the river rocks, it was just full of garbage. Some person, Jack, what I sit on right now, I won't say bad words, had just dumped their garbage out on that location, which is terrible. So, anyway.
All right, thank you, Michael. Is there anybody else that has any comment this evening? All right, thank you for coming. May I have a motion?
I think she wanted to comment.
I was wondering who owns the little Ford tractor over on the golf course? Does anybody know? It's not the towns?
No, I don't think so, no.
You know, I had looked into that years ago too, cause I was a little bit interested in it, and nobody could really come up with anything. Tony Rouse was kind of taking care of that over there at the time, and so I asked him, and he really had no clue on what the deal was with that thing, so I didn't have an opportunity to inquire any further, so.
I
It
see.
was at the golf course, you know, so it was,
Yeah, and who is responsible for the golf course?
We are now, but we just started,
Well,
right?
kinda.
Yeah.
We haven't,
we haven't really made a deal with, BLM
BLM.
on that yet. So
Yeah.
right now it's in limbo.
we're in the process of trying to lease the golf course from BLM.
From the BLM.
Yes, but it has not been approved.
Okay.
Well, my sister Melissa might know more because Melissa and her ex-boyfriend used to run it a little bit. They might have more information on whose that is. Cause it might be, what was Han,
I think it goes back
Is
to
it
Betty
Nick?
Graham.
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Betty
I
Graham?
think, yeah, Betty
Okay.
Graham rings a bell, which was,
I think
30
someone
years
had
ago.
mentioned
It was
Chapman at
donated,
one time
wasn't
as
it?
well.
Yeah, so Melissa might have some more information and I can get you a number to get a hold of Melissa.
Great, I
Okay.
appreciate that,
Okay, you're welcome.
thank you.
Okay, is there any other public comments this evening? Okay, I didn't miss any hands this time, all right. May I ask a motion for adjournment this evening, please?
I move to adjourn the regular council meeting.
I second.
And is there any other discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, motion is carried. Thank you. This meeting is over.